The room fell into chaos, and yet it was silent, the kind of silence that crushes every heartbeat. What happened to Jungkook that made even Jin cry? Why did the youngest member of BTS suddenly end up in an operating room surrounded by panicked staff and a mother who could barely breathe? Questions are swirling faster than answers, and every whisper coming out of Seoul tonight only deepens the mystery. Stay with us until the end, because this is not just another breaking story. It's the kind that changes everything. IT began without warning. Jungkook had been working quietly on a project at HYB's private facility, surrounded by only a few trusted staff members. According to an internal source, he complained of dizziness, but no one expected what would follow. Within minutes, his breathing became unstable. The staff panicked. The call to emergency services was made immediately. When the ambulance arrived, they said he was unresponsive. From that moment, the night turned into a blur of flashing lights, trembling voices, and tears. Jin arrived at the hospital moments after Jungkook's stretcher disappeared behind the heavy doors of the emergency wing. He didn't speak. His expression alone said everything: fear, disbelief, and pain. The man who had always been calm under pressure could no longer hold it together. When a nurse whispered something to him, his knees seemed to weaken. Witnesses saw Jin covering his face with both hands, whispering something that no one could hear. Moments later, he was crying openly, uncontrollably, as the hospital doors closed behind Jungkook. What could make Jin, the oldest and usually strongest member, collapse like that? What had he seen or been told? The question haunts everyone tonight. Meanwhile, Jungkook's mother arrived soon after, escorted by HYB's security team. She looked pale, as though she had already known something wasn't right. When she reached the operating room doors, the doctors stopped her. "Please wait outside," one of them said, but she refused. "That's my son," she cried. "I need to see him." The staff hesitated, but eventually allowed her a glimpse before the procedure began. That moment broke her. The sight of Jungkook, pale, surrounded by tubes, motionless, made her legs give out. She screamed his name, her voice echoing through the corridor. Nurses rushed to catch her before she fell. Jin, standing nearby, ran forward to hold her. Both were crying, their hands clutching each other as though afraid to let go. It was a moment that will never be forgotten by anyone who saw it. Inside the operating room, doctors worked desperately. The sound of machines filled the air, steady beeps, interrupted by occasional alarms. Every heartbeat was being monitored. Every second mattered. Outside, Jin could be seen pacing back and forth, occasionally stopping to press his palms against the glass, whispering something under his breath. Some said he was praying. Others said he was calling out Jungkook's name again and again. HYB officials arrived shortly after, trying to control the growing tension. They refused to make any statement, but their faces revealed everything: worry, fear, and helplessness. The usually composed management team could barely speak. One staff member reportedly said, "This wasn't supposed to happen. He was fine this morning." That one line spread like wildfire online, leaving fans worldwide desperate for answers. Hours passed. The operating light stayed on. Jin didn't leave. Jungkook's mother sat on the floor near the door, clutching the small pendant Jungkook had given her years ago, the one he wore during his trainee days. The hallway was filled with HYB staff, hospital personnel, and silent prayers. Every passing second felt like an eternity. Then came a sudden moment that froze everyone: the sound of the alarm from inside. Doctors shouted. Nurses rushed. Jin turned pale, leaning against the wall. Jungkook's mother screamed, "Please save him." The sound of her voice tore through the silence. Jin's tears returned, falling uncontrollably as he whispered, "Jungkook, you have to fight." What happened inside that room remains unclear, but witnesses say the tension lasted for almost 30 minutes. And then, just when everyone feared the worst, the red light above the door turned off. The head surgeon stepped out, his mask still on, his eyes filled with exhaustion. He looked at Jungkook's mother, then at Jin, and simply said, "He's stable for now." Those words shattered the silence. Jungkook's mother broke down, covering her mouth as tears streamed down her face. Jin stepped forward and hugged the doctor, crying harder than before. Relief mixed with fear. It wasn't over, but it wasn't the end either. The hospital quickly restricted access. Reporters tried to enter but were blocked. HYB issued a brief statement hours later. Jungkook is currently under medical care. We ask for understanding and privacy. No details. No explanations. Just a wall of quiet that only intensified the emotional storm. But what really happened to Jungkook? Some say it was sheer exhaustion, a result of long hours, stress, and emotional strain. Others whisper that it was something more serious, something HYB didn't want to reveal until they were certain he would recover. What was he hiding behind those perfect smiles, those flawless performances, that unstoppable drive? Even inside the hospital, staff were shaken. One nurse reportedly said she had never seen such emotion from a patient's loved ones. When he was brought in, she said, everyone was crying, not because they gave up, but because they were afraid of losing someone who means everything to them. By morning, armies around the world had turned social media purple. Messages of love flooded every platform. From New York to Jakarta, from Paris to Seoul, millions of fans sent prayers under one unified message: stay strong, Jungkook. Even artists and colleagues began to post supportive words. The world had stopped, waiting for one man to open his eyes again. Inside the ICU, Jin refused to leave. He sat beside Jungkook's bed, holding his hand gently, whispering things that only brothers would understand. According to a staff member, he said, "You've always been strong, Jungkook. You can get through this." His eyes never left Jungkook's face. His fingers never let go. Jungkook's mother stood beside them, her hand trembling as she stroked his hair. She whispered his name softly, praying that he could hear her voice. "My son," she said, "please come back to us." Hours later, something incredible happened. Jungkook's fingers moved. It was faint, almost imperceptible, but both Jin and his mother saw it. Jin froze, staring in disbelief. "He moved," he whispered. The nurse ran out to call the doctor, and within seconds, the room filled with life again. Jungkook's eyelids fluttered slightly, and for the first time in what felt like forever, a flicker of hope appeared. When the doctor confirmed it, Jin broke down again, this time with a smile through his tears. Jungkook's mother fell to her knees, thanking every higher power she could think of. The nurse, trembling, said she had never seen such a moment. The boy who had captured the hearts of millions had just fought his way back from the brink. But what did Jungkook see, feel, or remember during those lost hours? That question remains unanswered. When he finally whispered something to his mother, she gasped and covered her mouth. The words, according to those close to her, were simple but powerful. "I heard everything. I'm sorry for making you cry." That single line shattered hearts around the world once it leaked online. The youngest BTS member, always strong for others, was apologizing even in his weakest moment. Jin's response was equally moving. "Don't ever say sorry for being human," he told him softly. "You're our brother. You're our light." That moment became more than just a hospital scene. It became a testament to love, resilience, and the unbreakable bond of BTS as a family. HYB's silence, once seen as cold, was later understood as respect for Jungkook's privacy during the most fragile hours of his life. The member's absence from social media was not distance. It was pain, grief, and quiet prayer.